So Sam, how do you become a fat burner? I want to burn fat. I want to be able to shed those pounds that I've accumulated over all of these years of eating really unhealthy. How do I become a fat burner? How do I eat in such a way that my body will start burning the fat on me? Well, I'm glad you asked, because this past week I've been reading a lot about this, and so I've decided that I would share this knowledge with you, the viewer. Now, it should be noted that in every human being, we have about 5 grams of sugar in our entire body, in our bloodstream. 5 grams. So about a teaspoon of sugar in our entire body. That's pretty amazing, considering the fact that most Americans, and anybody else out there that's watching in another country, consumes hundreds of grams of sugar throughout a given day, such as in soda, or fruit juice, or candy, or even in that bag of potato chips. Carbohydrates turn to sugar. So just think, in that bottle of soda, you are really just slamming your body with an overabundance of sugar. And when you slam your body with this overabundance of sugar, that puts a lot of stress on your body. First of all, your blood sugar becomes imbalanced, and you can get something called insulin resistance. And when you become insulin resistant, that's when you start becoming diabetic, and that's also when your body then starts storing fat on you. And this usually happens as people get older, but it can happen when you're young too. There isn't, I would say, a magic bullet. It's just that it's known that as you get older, your body's capacity and ability, or perhaps even you could call it efficiency, of managing and controlling this damage becomes not as good. Kind of like if you drive a car, over and over and over and over, and you never tune it, or you never change the oil, it doesn't run as well. The performance and the efficiency of it starts to go down. I think the same is true with our bodies. So, really, then, to get right to the meat of this video, if you want to become a fat burner, you gotta lower the amount of carbohydrates, because your body can use either two fuels. It can either use fat as fuel, or it can use carbohydrates as fuel. Now, what happens is, if your body doesn't have any carbohydrates, then your body produces ketones, which go to your brain, and it basically turns off your appetite. So you won't feel hungry. And the reason you won't feel hungry is because your body is actually accessing the fat on your body to use as fuel. So you're literally becoming a fat burner. Now, ketosis isn't always fun. You can get what's called low-carb flu, and you can have fatigue, you can have headaches, you could feel dizzy, you could get a lot of these different symptoms. And that's because your body isn't used to running on fat for its primary fuel source. It's used to running on carbohydrates. So it takes a while for your body to transition, over to the fat fuel source. Now, if you aren't morbidly obese, it's probably alright and better to do this for maybe 2 days or so, to give your body a jump start. But if you can keep your carbohydrate range about under 100 grams a day, you can hit that spot where your body starts burning fat. But if you want to accelerate the fat loss, then try to get it down less than 30 to 20 grams a day. then you'll really start hitting and accelerating that fat loss. Now, in order to make the transition easier on you guys, one thing that happens when you go on this low-carb diet is your body starts shedding excess sodium. So you lose sodium and salt. And one thing that helps with this dizziness and fatigue feeling is to replace that salt. So you can take something like homemade chicken broth with sea salt in it, or you can take chicken bouillon cubes, like 1 or 2 a day, and drink that. That will help replenish the salt that's been lost and will help you to feel, more aware, and will perhaps give you that energy that you need. Now, if you feel like it's not getting any better, then increase your carbohydrates. But try to stick to only the carbohydrates found in vegetables and in some fruits. Be cautious of the high carbohydrate fruits. And really, I would stress in this video, too, that in order to become a fat burner, I think it's important to note that your primary concern really probably should be to focus on the quality of food rather than the quantity of food. If you're just eating real whole foods, you're more than likely going to start to lose weight. Perhaps not as fast as somebody that's less than 20 grams of carbs a day, but nevertheless, the quality of food, and if you're eating real food, it'll get your body back into balance. You won't be accumulating toxins. You won't be creating so much inflammation. I mean, your body was meant to eat real food, not processed junk foods. And it's really that simple. You eat real food, good food in, it's a no-brainer. So, I guess the bottom line here is if you want to become a fat burner, low